On a quiet winter night, the city slept beneath a silver moon. The streets were empty, and soft rain shimmered across the sidewalks like tiny fallen stars. A young traveler named Adam walked slowly through the silent streets, carrying a small bag and an old book beneath his arm. He wasn't rushing anywhere. It simply felt as though the night itself was calling him. At the edge of the city, he discovered an old train station hidden in the fog. And there, waiting silently on the tracks, stood a long black train. No loud engines. No crowded passengers. Only warm golden lights glowing softly through the windows. Above the door hung a small sign. The last night train, to quiet places beyond dreams. For reasons he couldn't explain, Adam smiled gently and stepped aboard. Inside, everything felt peaceful. The seats were soft velvet. Small lanterns swayed gently with the movement of the train. Somewhere in the distance, a slow piano melody floated quietly through the air. Adam sat beside a window as the train began to move. Slowly. Smoothly. As if it didn't wish to wake the sleeping world outside. The city lights faded behind him. Soon, only moonlit forests remained. Tall trees drifted through the mist like shadows in a dream, while thousands of stars sparkled above the dark sky. Milky Way. After a long while, the train stopped at its first station. The silent lake. Adam stepped outside onto a wooden platform beside a vast silver lake. The water was perfectly still. It reflected the moon so clearly that the sky and the lake seemed to become one. Near the shore stood a tiny wooden cabin glowing with warm light. Inside, a kettle quietly steamed beside a fireplace. Adam wrapped himself in a soft blanket and sat near the window, listening to the gentle wind moving through the trees. No noise. No worries. Only calm silence. Eventually, the distant whistle of the train echoed through the night once more. And so the journey continued. Locomotive. The train rolled across enormous bridges hidden above the clouds. It passed endless valleys covered in glowing blue flowers that only bloomed beneath moonlight. Each train car carried its own quiet magic. One carriage held towering bookshelves and sleeping cats curled beside lamps. Another carried a crackling fireplace with warm blankets and slow jazz music drifting softly through the room. At the very end of the train was an open observation car facing the stars. Adam sat there alone beneath the night sky. Cold fresh air brushed softly against his face while mountains passed silently in the distance. Then something unusual appeared beside the train. A falling star. But instead of disappearing, it slowly transformed into a tiny glowing bird made of light. The bird flew beside the train for several peaceful moments before vanishing gently into the clouds. Adam smiled and closed his eyes for a while. Crescent moon. Hours later, the train arrived at another station. The city of endless rain. It was a small glowing town where rain never stopped falling. But the rain there wasn't sad. It sounded warm. Steady. Comforting. Like a soft lullaby made for sleeping hearts. Golden lanterns reflected across wet stone streets. Tiny cafes glowed behind foggy windows. Adam entered one small cafe near the corner of the street. An elderly woman silently handed him a cup of hot chocolate before returning to her book beside the fire. No one spoke. Only the rain whispered outside. Drip. 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 Slow and endless. With every passing minute, Adam felt sleep growing heavier in his eyes. Cloud. Eventually, he returned to the train one final time. The lights inside were dimmer now, softer than before. The train itself seemed sleepy. Adam rested his head against the velvet seat while snow began falling quietly outside the window. Forests drifted past. Mountains disappeared into white mist. The stars above glowed faintly through the clouds. Inside the train, everything felt warm and safe. Slowly, gently. Adam closed his eyes. And somewhere far beyond the sleeping world, the last night train continued its endless journey through peaceful dreams beneath the quiet night sky.